Shanti went to her mailbox and there was only one letter. And she picked it up and looked at it before opening. But then she looked at the envelope again. There was no stamp, no postmark, only her name and her address. And she read the letter. Dear Shanti, I'm going to be in your neighborhood Saturday afternoon and I would like to visit. Love you always, God. Oh, her hands were shaking as she placed the letter on the table. Why would God want to visit me? I am nobody special. I don't have anything to offer. And with that thought, Shanti remembered her empty kitchen, the cabinets that were there. Oh my goodness, I really don't have anything to offer. I'll have to run down to the store and buy something for dinner. And she reached for her purse and counted out the contents of the purse. Just $25 and a few cents. Well, I can get some bread and maybe some cheese at least. So she threw on her coat and she hurried out the door. Maybe a loaf of French bread and a half pound of cheese and a carton of milk, leaving Shanti with just a grand total of maybe $2 or $3 left. Nonetheless, she felt good as she headed home, her meager offerings tucked under her arms. Hey lady, can you help us, lady? A voice called out. And Shanti had been so absorbed in her dinner plans, she hadn't even noticed two figures huddled in the alleyway. A man and a woman, both of them dressed in a little more than rags. Look lady, I ain't got a job. My wife and I have been living out here on the street and well, it's getting so cold and we're getting kind of hungry and well, would you be able to help us, lady? We would really appreciate it. And Shanti, she looked at them both. They were dirty. They smelled badly and frankly, she was certain that they could get some kind of work if they really wanted to. Sir, I would like to help you, but I am also poor, a poor woman myself. All I have is a few pieces of cheese and bread and milk, and I was planning on serving this to dinner for a very special guest that is coming. Yeah, well, okay, lady, I understand. Thanks anyway. And the man put his arm around his wife's shoulders, turned and he headed back into the alley. And she watched them leave. As she was watching them leave, Shanti felt a familiar tingle in her heart. And she said, sir, wait. The couple stopped and turned back and she ran down the alleyway. Look, why don't you just take this food? I'll figure out something to serve my guest. And she handed the man the grocery bag. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It was the man's wife saying. Shanti could see that now that this lady was shivering, she was trembling. And she said, you know what, I've got another coat at home. Why don't you take my coat as well? And she unbuttoned her jacket and slipped it over the woman's shoulder. And then smiling, she turned and walked back into the street without her coat and with nothing to serve her guest. Thank you, lady. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Dear friends, Shanti was chilled by the time she reached her front door and very worried too. The Lord was coming to visit and she didn't have anything to offer him. And she fumbled through her purse for the door key. But as she did, she noticed another envelope in her mailbox. And that's odd. She's thinking the mailman doesn't usually come twice in one day. And she took the envelope out of the box, opened it, and this is what it said. Dear Shanti, it was so good to see you again. Thank you. Thank you for the lovely meal. And thank you too for the very beautiful coat. With lots of love, always, signed, God.